So today we'll be flying the Boeing 777 from Shanghai, China, all the way to John F. Kennedy International Airport, or just JFK. So this flight, I believe, is around 12 hours, which is definitely not the longest I've done, but very interesting with the 777. I could be wrong. I think it's a bit more. It might be around 14 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of jump into the cockpit, and then once we can get into the cockpit, I will talk to you guys then, and we can start up the plane and get this plane over to JFK soon. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn on the battery now, and the external powers, and we'll turn on the generators in a second. As you can see, I still got a few more minutes before the displays align, so I'm gonna have to wait before I actually start doing pretty much anything in the aircraft. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just wait for this stuff, and then once the displays are turned on fully, I can. Okay, so let's start the APU generator now. Alright, so go ahead and turn on the fuel pumps because I just asked GSX to push me back, and we're going to turn on the beacon, taxi, and stuff. So as you can see, there's the route, but I'm going to go ahead and be quiet like usual for GSX.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted. Locking gear. Release parking brakes. Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by until push is completed and brakes are set.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start engine 1 now, and yeah. So we're going to go ahead and wait for that to come alive, and then we'll start engine 2 in just a second. Alright, so we start engine 2 now. And like I said, we're going to have to wait for that to come alive.
Set parking brakes.
ahead and taxi to the runway. It is literally right there, so I'm just going to kind of be quiet for just the rest of the takeoff, just because the sounds are pretty good. I will talk to you guys a little bit after the takeoff, so I will definitely, or you guys will definitely hear my voice again right after takeoff. No tail strike, which is good, and you're up. Yeah, so far I haven't tail striked, which is the first good thing, but that's just the 777 flight model, it's not me actually flying. So I'm going to go ahead and engage autopilot and see if it can figure itself out, which it doesn't like to do often because it really is bad at that. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just talk to you guys just a bit after. Alright, so we are now, we're not at our cruising altitude, but we are close. So, I had to turn off the flight director for some reason. It didn't want to. We're going to have to go to this room. But yeah, so I had to turn off the flight director just because it didn't want to work with the autopilot. So, that's like the first problem I actually encountered. But it's en route now, and there are a few visual bugs with the room, and I have experienced that before. it's been a really long time. I don't know how many hours, more than, I'd like to say 7, I believe. So we've still got around 7 hours. I'm not sure if we're close to the United States yet, but we're probably passing where Hawaii would be if it was more northern, just a bit. So I'm not sure. We still got a little while, but I'll talk to you guys when we are on approach. We are currently at, I don't know how many hours we've been flying for. I'd like to assume around 12 or 13, because we still got around an hour left until we reach JFK. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue this flight for just a little longer, and then we will land in JFK, and I'll talk to you guys then. Okay, so a bit windy here in New York currently. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So I'm not sure how my landing's going to be just because of the wind currently, which is kind of insane, which is odd because I don't believe JFK is usually windy. So if it's not on centerline, it's probably my fault, I will admit. It's probably my fault just for being a bad pilot or not handling windy conditions. So I'm just gonna go ahead and be quiet while you guys watch me land, just because you guys got to see my awesome landings, even though they suck most of the time. So yeah, I will talk to you guys just a bit after landing. Okay, I swear it's the wind, not me. I did a decent job with that landing, but it's the wind, I swear. So, today's flight was 14 hours, which was very long, in my opinion. So, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, though, and share with your friends. And remember my outro.